Okay. Good morning, everybody. Happy Memorial Day if you're in the United States. Um, we're going to get started. Um, just a little differently than so far I've shown you because I wanted to show you this too. So we're going to be doing a cyberpunk street scene of some kind. And I will kind of warn you right now, I pretty much am in, I don't know, I'll be gentler. I'm very, very bored with Tokyo for cyberpunk. I'm very bored with Shibuya. I'm very bored with Shinjuku. Um, those were cool. They were great. I love them, but we've seen them to death. And there is more to the world than literally 3 blocks of Tokyo. And that's all you ever see over and over again. I do not like cyan and magenta. And yeah, so it's not going to be the same shot that you could find 100,000 times anywhere you look because, again, it's been done. I don't need to do it again. What I have done is gone look in some other places. So we have a combination here of, and I've mixed them up a bit, but I believe I know, Manila, Mexico City, um, Turkey, another Manila, and Kiev, actually. So we're looking at other places. I think our primary influence is going to be Manila. Um, and these are all shots I just grabbed with Google Street View. If you're doing city design, I highly, highly recommend you take some Google Street View vacations of places. Um, it's just really, really helpful. You'll get some cool stuff. You'll probably see things you weren't expecting. I really like this kind of look here. I like the grungy sidewalks, the people on the road, the old concrete buildings. Um, this is a train station here on the side of the road. I was thinking maybe putting that on the other side of the road as I'm working. A train station in Manila, same kind of thing. I like these open storefronts. I like this corner. And I want to be able to see, hopefully, we see things like the way this edge is run down and grunged out. That's really cool. I really like that curb. Um, I really like some of this piping and the building extrusions, and again, just the streets. So that's kind of where I'm going to be taking this thing. It'll be night. It might even be raining. We'll see if we have time for that. But it's going to be more an actual kind of cyberpunk area, if you will, like the places where your down and out people, your illegals, your gang members are going to be, as opposed to 4 blocks of Tokyo Disneyland that everyone says, ooh, neon, and thinks cyberpunk. Because, yeah, no, I have strong feelings about such things. So, okay, so we started there, and that's a good place. And I'm just going to move this up to my other monitor so I can see it as I'm going. Trust me, it's there. And this is Blender. So now a starting point that I think was kind of cool, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this is you may have seen if you've looked at some YouTube videos of new plugins come out lately, there have been a tremendous number of really cool procedural things, and one of them was this procedural alley. So I have already brought it into my own Blender file from the one that he had it in, just because I like having some of my stuff like my compositing set up. And I didn't feel like making you guys wait while I muted all of these boxes that it uses. So I just went ahead and did that already. If you look at it with the texture on and we update the lights, there we go. So, I mean, like, it's pretty cool. Like, in all honesty, you could kind of just do something like this and you'd be almost done. Like, oh, look, there, great. And this is kind of what I mean why I don't want to do the other stuff is that if you're being hired to design something, there's a need to actually bring something new to the table. And so much good stuff for Cyberpunk already exists that it's a wonder anyone hires a concept artist to do anything that looks like that stuff because you can just find it. And I mean, I swear to God, AI, half the things it was trained on was that stuff. So if you can't find or make a cyberpunk street scene at night in neon and magenta, neon cyan and magenta. I don't know how to help you. Um, but I still thought this was super cool, and I wanted to play with it and see if we could modify it and bring it into the world and kind of make it our own. And it's got a ton of controls on it. The height of the building. I'm gonna go back to just solid, so it's faster. But we got height. Look, there's a 90 some story building. Sorry, 101. And you can change um, apartment details. Let me bring this a bit wider. You see it. Amount. Bring it up. Curtain probability. Curtain seed. Like it's just crazy. Edge details. Signs. The max floor the signs will go to. We're going to take that all the way up as high as it'll go, just because, and we're going to add a lot of signs because everyone loves signs. So sure. Um, oh, and sign seed. Just I don't know. Just so it's not the base one. Ground floor seed, it's just tweaking around. See, because all these different shops and stuff, it's just cool. I'm going to turn off street lights for right now because I think I'd rather manage that myself. And I think I'm going to turn off power lines. So we just have the alley. And this gives us a bit more, room to play. And we are in cycles. Everything is good there. So cool. If you come to the end, you can even play with the side. So it'll do depth and all that stuff. So if we wanted to set up a shot with the fire escapes, we could do that. This is like I don't even remember how much. It was like a $9 plugin or something. It's super cool. And it's not even a plugin. It's literally just a blend file with geometry nodes. So you can import it and bring it into your own, set it up whatever you want. So that's enough advertising other people's things for right now. But it's cool, and I think we can use it. So let's do it. I think that one of the first things we're going to do this time is set us up a camera angle so we know what we're building, because with a city it can get huge and we want to make sure that we're kind of doing no more than we need to given our time frame. So go with my area Alexa. We'll make it cinematic. Lens cook anamorphic, so it compresses the lights, which particularly in something with a lot of lights like Cyberpunk can be pretty cool. We'll set our depth of field to 1.8, super shallow. And we'll set our resolution to widescreen 239. So if we turn back on this just to see where we're at, it's not going to look right yet because we still have daylight. Well, actually, we just have this bright overhead sky that's nothing because it's like what I like to model in. But there we go. See, loads of lights, loads of signs, shops, cool, just cool stuff, right? I mean, it is cool. I'm not going to in any way argue that it's cool. But let's see what we can do with it to make it more ours. And I'm going to leave it alone for modifying the curb and stuff for right now, because I think I'll have to apply the geometry modifiers, and I think that might slow our scene down a little bit. Although it's not big. It's actually not. Maybe let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Because I don't super care, and we're mostly looking at it from the ground view, so I don't need to worry about what's above. We'll just say this is what it's going to be. So, and I think if I come down to the bottom, there was a realize instances. Yes, we need to do that so we can apply our geometry modifier. And cool. Now we just have a 2 million poly block. Yeah, it does add more to it, but that's not bad. And we should be good. Let's just look at it. I know I just dropped out of it, but let's just make sure we're still okay in our shaded view and it still looks right. I think we may have lost some lights and stuff on it, but no, that's cool. Alrighty. So we have our street, and now we can edit it if we need to, or our sidewalk. But I think we want to add a road first. A couple ways we could do this. We could just make our own. Maybe we'll do that. I mean, I have loads and loads of street stuff too, but let's just make our own. It'll be lighter weight too. So Shift A, mesh, plane, and I'll just solo it. How? Well, actually not. I want to see it in relation to the sidewalk. GY. We can be a little bit poetic in terms of how wide like streets have assigned widths that actually matter, but we don't have to follow that super perfectly. Let's just make it 4.5 across the whole thing, rather. So it's 4.5 meters. And then let's make it increase our length. And the other thing I want to do is take everything and RZ 90 that way. No, RZ minus 90. Yeah, okay. Just because I'm used to having the Y be down, and if I don't, it's going to really mess with me. So now my hotkeys will be right. I'm gonna bring that more to the center. So it's not a super wide road, but this is kind of a poor section of town, so that's fine. We don't need a wide road. We probably don't even want a wide road. This is one of those places where it should feel a little cramped, but not so cramped we couldn't put a few cars like parked along here and stuff as well. So let's do that. Alrighty, and we're gonna Control A, assign rotation and scale, and maybe we won't give it a material yet, but we know we're gonna need to. So we come back to here, and yeah, that feels good. It's like a narrow road. And then we need something on the other side of the road. We were talking about putting, like, in my reference, I had like the train station, there are fences, there's all kinds of stuff we could do. I think first of all, um, maybe we want to give it a smaller sidewalk than this side, or at least a curb. So let's give it a curb. And let's just do that. We'll model it ourselves. EX, what, 0.3? No, minus 0.3. Minus 0.3. EX minus 0.3. Cool. And then E and Z 0.3. Are we upside down? We're upside down. Okay, that's what's going on. Let's see if we are. Alt V, tab, Alt V, face orientation. Weird. Are we both? I must have done something. Let's just go back. Undo, undo. There we go. Now we're right. Okay. So let's do this again. 2. EX. Why is that upside down? Why is it doing weird thing? Do I have the whole thing selected? 2. Let's just solo that. What's going on here? All right. E. I don't know why it's doing it upside down, but whatever. We'll fix it. 3. E. Okay. And it's not going to be half a meter high, minus 0.3. And we're going to just go A, Shift N, and try to fix our normals. Okay, that should be good then. So we got a little bit of a curb on the far side, which we can see. And I made it about a foot high. Now, come back here, tab, edit it again, and just, so that's our curb. That's E, and we'll give ourselves a little bit of a sidewalk. Just like 1 meter, 1.5 meters. Cool. And we're going to take this edge loop and we're going to Control B to bevel it, but not much. Like, probably we won't even see this. This is the kind of thing I do that I'm always like, why did I do this? Make it an inch wide. Faces, no. Alt E, extrude faces along normals. Bring it in a little bit. Okay, so just we have a bit of a, yeah, see, you can't tell from where I'm at, but fine, whatever. So we have a curb, and then maybe a concrete wall. Would that be a good thing to do? Could be. So let's just give ourselves E, E. We may come back to this. We probably will, but I just want to set it up so there's something on the far side. So like This is one of those streets that like butts up against an overpass, maybe. So we put a road up on the top there. That could be kind of cool. So, it's loud. It's the kind of neighborhood nobody wants to be in. In other words, it's a real cyberpunk neighborhood. Let's do that. Let's grab the overpass. I'm going to open up another Blender, and I'm just going to pull an overpass model that I have because I don't feel like, and I don't have overpasses yet in my asset library, so I still have to do this the old way. Um, I'm sorry. Come on, Blender. Chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it, chug it. You're thinking, why are you taking so long? Why are you taking so long? Well, we'll come back in a minute. Just go back to the regular one while it's thinking. We'll do some more work here. So we're going to put a wall. We're going to put an overpass up here. Yeah, maybe let's texture the road then. So this whole thing, just going to give it a new and concrete, we'll call it, just so I have it. And then this part is going to be road. And I think it finished now. Did it? Yes, it did. Okay. Just gonna, pardon me, there's some stuff I can't share, so I'll just pull this up here and grab it this way, and then I'll bring it back down. I know. Work stuff mixed in with other stuff, and I have to do it the right way. Where are my streets? Where are my streets? There. Roads. Yes. That's who they are. Okay. Sorry. That's why it's a live stream and not a tutorial video, is because you get to watch me bump around a little bit too. And that's kind of maybe even valuable. I sometimes think that with tutorials, you get an artificial view that people know what the heck they're doing a little bit too much. And I don't know about everybody, I can't speak for that. But for me, a lot of this stuff is literally just trying, tweaking, and trying something else. And we're not nearly as polished. We usually don't know what we're doing quite as often as it looks when you're doing a tutorial. Um, yeah. If I'm doing an actual tutorial, I have probably pre-done most everything, and then I'm just redoing it. Yeah, there we go. That's our road section. I like it. Okay. Select hierarchy. Yeah. So now we're back to here. Yeah. There's our road, RZ90, and I'm going to bring it in. Oh, it's just about the right size even for the one section. GZ. Let's bring it down. And I created this wall, but I kind of like having the wall versus the pillars because I don't want to really show what's there. But I'm going to bring it over so that it overhangs and looks gross over our world too. So like that. Yep, like that. Save. Okay, and does this have textures already? It does. Could even see if they work for us. Let's see. Close that other Blender file just to speed things up a little bit, I hope. Okay, and thinking, yeah. It's probably a little clean, but we'll leave it for right now. We won't use it on this street down here, though. We will, however, I think use concrete mix here, at least to start. I'm thinking AU cube projection. There we go. Running slow with that alley. Should be. Come on, man. Okay, cool. That's there. Looks pretty good. Road still, did I even assign road to road? Assign. And I'm actually going to maybe, let's see if might be too dirt. I'll leave it for right now. I'm kind of all over the place here. I apologize. Go back to our grayscale. So we got this. Say it again. And looking good. I'm just going to change my view. No, our material. Yep. Not attribute. So we got a road. We got a side thing set up. We need to sort of cyberpunk it out a bit though. Like right now, could pretty much be anything at any time and it would be the same, right? We need to make it at least a little bit more interesting. And I think we'll do that to start with by, let's just solo this object out, using a bit of random flow on this wall because nothing says sci-fi like putting panels on a wall. I'm gonna get it to relatively square for our sections just so we get some relatively consistent subdivisions. Okay, select that and let's just come back out and plates. Yeah, let's do plates. Subdivision of 4 and plates of 50. That gives us something, and it's just kind of boring. Like this actually still looks like a modern road, but let's see if we can't change our max to like 4. That's right. That's looking cool. Cool. Okay, so we got a few walls there. Section that'll help us out, I think, for making it look more visually interesting, even if we don't end up adding a lot more bling to it than that. And yeah, I'm liking that. Thinking that's cool. And I don't know why these are different colors. What's it doing? We didn't do anything to that section at all. And I think I'm just gonna Shift G coplanar P section. Disconnect our road. What's our road look like? Has it got weird holes in it now? Why does our road have weird holes? Why did it apply the panels to the road? All right, let's do this again. Let's back up. Piss off. Undo. Okay, we're back to normal. Now, this time I am gonna separate the ground, and then I think I'm gonna do the same. 1, Alt Z, B, 3, and grab the sidewalk and maybe separate that out too. So now we have our wall object, our sidewalk, and our ground. I think that'll do us better. Okay, now let's apply our plate insets. Looks good. Plating seed. Cool. Again, I don't super care what they look like sometimes, and maybe I should care more, but at this stage, what I mostly care about is that it's just not flat. Does it matter if it's any one particular thing? Not really. I mean, you may have your preference as to what you want your panels to look like. I don't super care, and I'd be lying if I said I did. That's not selected, is it? What? No. Why am I getting weird? Like it's doing AM by distance? There are no vertex. Why am I getting a weird? I don't know. Okay. Strange. All right, so now I want to take this. Let's save. And like I said, I want to mess up our sidewalk a little bit here. And I'm going to try first using one-click damage. OCD is a simple plugin, and it just basically, as far as I can tell, it creates a distorted version of the base mesh and then does a Boolean intersection with the two. So it creates holes, and that's not going to work. Cancel. Solo it, because it might need to be, is it not a fill object? It should be. Tab. It's got a bottom? No, it doesn't have a bottom. That's the problem. F and F and F. Now it should be a solid object again. I think that'll work better. Well, now let's try OCD, see what it does. Ugh, grumble. Too much. Cancel. All right, so we're not getting it that way. Screw you. Let's do something of our own then. Should be. I'm going to try one more time. Let's just try using hard ops to clean the mesh. And now let's see what it does, see if it works. Control A, rotation scale, make damage. It's still not. Nope. All right, fine. I'm going to add some. Let's go back then. Tab, Control Z, undo hard ops. Edit, undo history. Yeah, I'll go to here. Okay. Now, let's just, I'm not going to worry about it too far down, and this is probably overkill, but sometimes it's hard to know when you should be doing something and when you're not. Interesting. Why is it not? You bastard. Okay. A3. There's a way to do everything. Die somewhere. I've messed up the mesh, and it's no longer particularly. Why? Yeah. Kill X, kill Z. Just why? It's no longer got great topology, so it doesn't want to work too well. So we're just going to introduce some edge loops manually, and we're going to turn on our proportional editing, and we're just going to kind of move some bits. And this is subtle, and you probably don't need to do this as much as I am, but just a little bit. I kind of like that. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Just mess it up a little bit, but I'm maybe wasting time. We're what, 28 minutes in? Okay, not bad. All right. Our road. How messed up do we want our road to be? That's another interesting question. Okay, so first off with roads, if we're at this level, it probably needs to have a bow to it. Most roads have at least a bit more. Most roads are higher in the middle than they are on the edges. So we're just going to do this. We've got proportional turned on still. Yep. Bring it up, and we're going to make it bigger. Not, there we go. Just want to bring it up a bit. Are we up? A foot? Like that's a foot higher in the middle than it is on the sides. That might be a little too much. Okay. Now, we're going to introduce some more edge loops so we have less of those disgusting. And I know, unfortunately, this is making our geometry bigger, which is a pain, but it's not too bad. We'll try to do that. Now we're going to go A, and we're going to come back out, and we're going to use random flows, quick displacement to add a bit of bump to it, just to make our road Not nice. And maybe we're gonna add one cut. Is that gonna make it too much? That's all right. Okay, cool. Yep. Q, sharpen, 0. Okay, and turn everything else back on. All right, so our road is now gross, and that's cool. Is there a road I'm putting it on still? Is there something there? Yes, that's the problem. Shift G, coplanar, X, faces. Yep, there we go. Thank you. That's better. I had somehow duplicated my road. So put that there, and then we're going to bring this stuff down just a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so now our road looks ugly. And the cool thing about doing that is now we can do something if we want to, like put water in on the edges here. Because if we do, let's just do that just to see. Shift A, mesh, cube, S. Well, we went size of 4.5, right? 4.5. No, it's bigger than that now. Why is it bigger than that? Yeah, whatever. All right, so there, cool. And then we'll just bring it in so it's not terribly deep. Really, we can make it 0.1. And then GZ, bring it down. Yes. 7 SY. Since we have a lot of our base mesh built for us, we kind of start jumping straight into starting to details. And that's why I may be doing some things a little bit faster than I normally would, but I think that'll work. Okay. And let's go grab a aquatic still water material for right now. I don't have a great one that's ugly, but pond is kind of green, so we'll start with that. And let's just turn back on our materials and see where we're at. That's cool water. Definitely we need to give a better road texture now. And we might need to at least close up, make our road a little bit more detailed so we don't have some of these lines aren't as sharp, but we can do that. Shading. And we're on our road and we've got Node Wrangler turned on. So Control Shift T lets us pick a whole set of materials all at once. Man-made. And do I have a good roads one? I think I should. We're in date modified roads. There's pavement. Let's see what's in pavement. No, we don't want hexagons. We want roads. Come on. Where'd you go? I picked something I didn't want to pick. Now let's do it again. Or didn't pick anything. Probably just transferred. Control Shift T. Roads. Yeah, it just canceled. And not Tankland. Why are you going into weird places? Roads. Piss off. Okay. And wet pavement. Sure. Old asphalt, wet pavement. Let's see what wet pavement gives us. Just try it. And are we in? Tab A, U, cube projection. Get out of Eevee. Gross. Eevee. Gag, gag, gag. Eevee's fine. I don't want to pick on anything. I do not love Eevee. And that material, while it might be working, is probably a way wrong scale for where we're at. Let's see, UV editing. Yeah. Let's scale our road up to like that. So that's assuming that whatever the texture was, it's going to be the width of the whole road. Z8. Just thinking. I mean, it's a problem with starting with this. Use a lot. That might be a little too wet for what I'm looking for. It doesn't feel grungy enough, although the wet is cool. Let's try a different texture. I'm just not feeling that one 100% yet. It's not bad, but we can always come back to it if we want to. So just delete this stuff and come back again. Shift T. And let's just do it old asphalt road. And it's 5.5 by 11, so it should be okay for our scale too. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go with that for right now. I like our water though. Like it's neat having some water. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit more. We got a little too much. And I think we're gonna probably edit the road a little bit to make it more interesting, at least in the foreground, and more controlled. But you need sometimes to make sure that you own your procedures don't own you. So, okay, so we're on that G, Z, shift, so we're moving it small. Okay, cool. Now let's come to our road and edit it. And come over here, 7 dot. So this is our section. And I'm just going to select like, I don't know, that much road. Sure. And then W, subdivide it twice. Because now I can I can go to vertex, and I've got proportional editing turned on, and G, and bring it down, and then G, and bring it up, and G, and adjust it. Just going to create some like interesting puddle shapes so that I'm controlling what it looks like. I'm not letting it control me. It's going to be like a big puddle to start with, which might give us a neat like place to lead the eye. And maybe let's do the same thing here. Even though I made this big, let's see, plus, I made it higher up rather, sorry. Let's grab that, W, subdivide it, also 2, grab a vertex, and then GZ, and we've got a mad pothole right there. Let me see about it. Is that okay? Do we like it? Make it bigger. Okay, so we got a pothole. Yeah, all right. So our road feels more beat up, particularly, we don't need to worry about that way back in the background. So there's no need to either spend time or polygons making it more because no one's going to see that stuff. But now we can see that here, and that's kind of cool. Okay, where are we at? 39, doing good. Let's bling a little bit. Cables are always a good way to bling. I'm going to go to big, medium, small. And I'm going to go to the industrial zone kit instead of the starship kit. I know it's different. To me, not going to the starship kit? Maybe later. And buildings, cables and wires. And that seems nice. And we need to RY 90 minus y, 90 ry minus 90. It doesn't matter which way I do it, it will always be wrong. It is the USB sticks of maneuvering for me. Bring it up. Let's just select those two things. See where I'm at. I want to hang it off of that since it's kind of a hanging cable. 1 G down, too far, GZ, GY, bring it out. And let's see, did they set this up so that it arrays nicely? What do we think our odds are? Q, array. I think we're pretty good. Our odds are good. It might be a little bit too uniform, but I think once we get other stuff in here, it'll be fine. But we have some cables now. Let's see. Hanging cables from that. And again, just makes it feel kind of just overlooked. Like this is an area that has been built around and it's been cheaper just to add stuff to it than it has been to destroy it. Or they just tear the whole freaking thing down. Let's see, is this cool? That does seem neat. Alt R. It does seem cool. RZ90 GY, so we can see where it is. Cool. GZ, come over to it. GX and GZ, GX, bring it out. Come on. Something like that. And we could even run it to like right on to that, which it kind of is. Cool. And is it hanging? Come back out a little further. Let's see if we see it. Yeah, we see it. Cool. So some cabling. And we're going to need to bling somewhat more too. That is going to happen. And we're going to need people. All of this is going to be an important thing for us fairly soon. Let's look at give ourselves a bit more room. I really would love a bigger screen. I mean, like it's hard to complain too much when you have a Cintiq at all, because I know a lot of people don't, but 1920 is just not big enough anymore to do everything on one screen. Okay, so that's our scene right now. We'll deal with what's down at the other end later. We'll find some cool stuff. Yeah, alrighty. I mean, I don't hate. I think that we need something sticking out into the sidewalk here to add some visual interest and to make it feel more cyberpunky. We also, again, we're going to need people on the sidewalk, probably people on the roads, and maybe a car or two. I think all that will really help. But I think we're getting there. Let's see what I've got in my objects that I've made over the whiles unassigned. For a while there, I was just making weird stuff that wasn't really anything like this, and that might actually work. I don't know what it is. I was just finding cool textures, applying them to strange shapes, and then using the textures to add on to the shape. So like, and then this one's got a little bit of kip pops on it too. But if you look at it, this is a cool way to make greebles. Like I literally just found some rando texture. I don't know what that pink, oh, is it missing a texture on the pink? Kevlar's gone, whatever Kevlar was. Well, let's just give it a KitOps texture of some kind. We're gonna go with dirty and panels. Add material. And we'll do the same for plastic accent. We're just gonna use the same one. But yeah, so anyway, I would find like this is like a lockbox or something. and then I just mod it and then be like, oh, it has a cut in here. So then you just build a loop and it lets you create things really fast that kind of work when you need them to. Is there a bevel on this? Yeah, there's already a little bit of a bevel. I've applied it. Cool. And I mean, like now, we got we have materials turned on, but maybe it's time to look at it. Um, yeah. So, I mean, what is it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's something. It's agreeable. Excuse me. And it's going to sit on our street and look cool. Break up the sidewalk some. Yep. Sweet. Cool. No, I actually really like that. I think that works for us. Um, we need to do a few more things like that. Um, now, even though this is just a concrete wall, I'm going to put this juice bar sign here. This is just from downtown Vancouver. It was just a sign that I took a picture of like a juice bar, and it had a cool sign. So that's just RZ90. I wanted to make sure it was pointed the right direction, and then move it up against the wall. And we can decide later if it's actually a store into the concrete or if it's just like a vending machine up there. But either way, it'll give us something. It's all about breaking the line of sight and the interest. You just want to do that over and over again, whenever we can, however we can. So let's do more of that stuff. There's a manhole cover. Let's use it. Again, kind of, can we put it here? We want the water literally rising out of the manhole cover? No, I think we'll put it in the middle of the road. Alt R. RX90. No, RX minus 90. Yep. GZ. And we're going to need to give it some more width, thickness, so that it'll sit up over our road. Tab 3, Shift G, coplanar E. And I think it's probably okay, but let's just see what our UV editing looks like for this. Come on. Yeah. Dot U. I'm just going to go 1. There's no real need to worry about this too much because it's going to be real low, but cylinder projection, A, scale, and I'm just going to bring it in so it fits into one of those things just to get the right color. Make it a bit bigger. So you'll get subliminal color variation that you won't notice. Cool. And layout again. Cool. Let's come to it and let's bring it down as low as we can without it going over the road, or the road going over it. So a bit more. There. Which, I mean, if you've been in places in like Southeast Asia, you see this happen where like the concrete literally sinks around the manhole covers, and you get these like interesting things sticking up. I think that'll be cool. And I want to add more stuff. Let's add this thing. I don't know where yet though. Maybe here. Alt R. Yes, that's where we're going to put it. And I don't know which side's the front on it. GY. GZ. GX. Solo it. Cool. Dot. Cool. Bring it out a little bit more. This is our process of cyberpunking things. So we have a street, and now this is how you cyberpunk. You just add stupid greebles to things. Um, it's dumb, but it's cool and it works. Let's kind of, ooh, did I? Daring, I'm editing this thing. Let's see what it gets. This is the object that was created with, close this for a sec, with the geometry nodes. I mean, so obviously it was somebody else's geo. I've never looked at it, but um, select these. Let's do 3. Okay, I want to try adding some hanging cables from those with random flow. So Shift Q, random cables. Gonna give us any? Is it thinking? Yep, we're getting some cool. We want our max to be like, bring our slack up. Um, 5. I'm just trying to enter numbers instead of typing this time, or sort of scrolling because it seems to be going slow. 10. And that's feeling okay. Now I want, we're on catenary, good. Cables amount to 10, sure. There's a way to clean it up. Where was the clean? Radius, twist, resolutions, position, island seed. There it is. Island limit, limited. And I'm going to do a, if I can find it, but running extrudes, sorts, none, X, Y. Is it sorting at all? Margin, that was what I wanted. Margin 0.1. Let's see, 0.25. So slow. Okay. We can live with it because we're just going to fix this one. That's the easiest thing, I think. L, GX, O, turn off proportional editing, GX. Bring that one so it's more out. It's still inside. Yep. Tab, 0. Random weird cables. Hanging low. And let's give the material. What's the materials we have on this for cables? Do we already have a cable? Wires mat. So let's try wires mat, see what it does. Cool. And cool. No, I think that's coming along for us. I like those wires. They break up stuff, but they're kind of subtle too. I think we might want some just going across here to here kind of randomly. And I think for that, let's use Cable Raider. JC, no. Is it Shift Alt C? Yeah, create cable. And we're just going to do it from these breakout boxes just to something over here. Scale it. I'm going to add more or cut down the tension. Yeah. And scale it a bit smaller. Okay. Now we should be a Shift AC, simulate cable. It hangs. Does it hang too far? I'm all right with that, I think. Got one there. Let's just do like 4 or 5. And I want to do them differently so that they hang out. Otherwise, I could just, copy it. But I want to make one here, 2 here, and Q here to here, and Q here to here. I'm literally just screwing around, but let's see. Yeah, those work. And now let's edit the cable. I'm actually going to shrink it a bit, I think. Again, depth 0.025, so it's an inch. Shift AC, simulate cable. Cool. Shift AC, let's insulate it. Shift AC, simulate it. Okay. And then Shift AC, simulate it. Okay, now all of these are Bezier curves. So let's grab them and Q, Q. Okay, fine. Object, convert to mesh. I don't know why it's not letting me go there. And now we can just combine them together. There's one, and we'll go again for that wire mat. Material, and tab A, U, cube projection. Okay, now let's see where we're at. Oh, did I start on the scene at the beginning of the stream? Yes, I started straight up. I had a huge advantage in that the alley is from the procedural alley add-on on Blender Market, so that whole right wall was really fast to get together. But yeah, I started from basically an empty Blender scene at 7:30 this morning, so like an hour ago, just about. So not too bad. um, I'm okay with that. Let's see. Do we want more cables? I mean, cables are always good. I do like a good cable. Maybe we want from, I think we want from this thing across too. Let's do one more. Create cable to, let's go down the street though. There. Just, of course, I didn't go down the street, but peace off. Hello, you're thinking. There we go. Okay, that's cool. I want to change the cable. Edit cable. What do I want to do to it? I want to show wire. Yeah, don't do that. Profile B. Yes, there we go. I want one of those things. I want one like that. Nice band of cables. And now Shift AC. I want to insulate. Draw 2 lines. Right. 1, 2, and it creates this cool insulation. Cable readers. Cool. Shrink it in. Let's do it up here too. AC, insulate. Select the cable first. Shift AC, insulate. Cool. And Shift AC, insulate. I got it right on the thing? Fine. JC, insulate. There. Zero. Got some cool cable insulation now. So this cable is going to also be our Q, convert to mesh, tab AU, Q projection. I believe the insulation is already a mesh. Yes. Tab AU, cubic projection. Should be all right though. And this is going to be our wire mat. And this is going to be, well, first off, I'm going to join it to these. Tab A, U, Q projection. I don't think I need to do that for this. I want to grab one of my materials that I made. Shaders, Seth. We'll go with the grunge yellow paint. I think that'd be cool. And then yep, cool. Alrighty. Header, close the area and save. It's been a while. And see where we're at. There's a lot of see where we're at. Updating lights. Yes, I know. Cool. I like where we're at. Where we're at is good. It's coming along nicely. Let's see if we come to just that. Yeah, our yellow is there. It's not super bright, but it's there. I think that'll help. I'm not sure about our juice bar. That feels a little weird over there to me right now. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna get rid of that. I think I like it darker, just kind of a little bit more. One side of the street has stuff, the other side does not. I think I'll probably add graffiti, but I might wait till after the stream for that because it just takes a little while to finagle the UVs. But a bit of graffiti along there would be cool. Some pipes along there could be neat. Do we want to try to do that with random, or do we want to try to make just like pipage? Let's make a pipage. I want to go the whole length. That'd be easy. Fine. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, because I have different panels. That's why. Okay. So I want to select. Actually, I mean, that'll be okay. Q, curve extract. But now I just want to SY and make it go the whole length. GY. Okay, good. Now GX, bring it out a little bit. Is it not one? Should be one. What are you doing? Okay, do it again. I picked up multiple things. Yeah, oh, I see, they're different sizes. We just want one. One at the one side. We'll use this edge. That seems like a good edge. Q, curve extract. Okay, yeah, now it's a smooth edge, but I don't want it to be -9. So we want it to be 0.05. No, 0.1? 0.1 seems good. Okay. SY, what am I on? Object set origin, that's volume, SY. Peace off. Cool. GY, SY, GY. Yep, so it's now extending off. That's fine. Control A, rotation and scale. So it's right. Ooh, it's too big though. Is it too big? Did I make it bigger when let's see, 0.08? That's fine, I guess. I think we want a higher resolution than 4. Let's go to 8. Okay. How do we feel about it for size? Still a bit big. Let's bring it in a little bit more. Kind of want it about like that. And then Shift D, make another one, and then Shift D, and make another one and bring it down here. Yeah, that's working for me. Okay, now let's make sure we're selected. Yep, Q, and let's do flanges on it. Custom, is that the one? Yeah, flange heavy. We want amount to be like 10, and we want the radius to be 0.1. Is it thinking? Is that wide enough? F9, radius 1, just to make sure we see it. Yes, okay. 0.25, bigger than that. 0.35, even a little bigger than that. Let's go 0.4. Cool. And let's do the same thing for this one. Flanges, 0.4. Yeah, none. Should be right. Where are they? Nothing select. Oh, they must be there. Where are my caps? Where are my caps is at? Where are my flanges is at? Delete those. Control A, scale, tab, Shift Q, flanges. Oh, I didn't select any. Heavy. Okay. And then one more on this one too. Flanges couplings. Flange 2. That's a different size one. 0.44. Just make it a bit bigger. Okay. And F9, and I'm going to change the number to 15 on that one. No, too many. 9 on that one, just so they're not this. So they don't line up. None of our flanges line up. It's all just like, ah, crap. This would never happen in a real world city, but hey, where are we at? 108. Okay, doing good. What do we want to add? Want to add some people? We could add some people. There is this other add-on I picked up recently, procedural crowds. We could try making people. Random walking people. Here, crowd settings. No, yeah, add crowd. Let's see what we get. Whew. Whoa, what the heck? Is that floor? Why are they all rotated out? That's bizarre. Well, let's just undo that. Let's see. Okay, we have that select. Well, yeah, yeah. Let's see. That's selected. Unless I want to just do a new plane to see if that will make it work. Shift A, mesh, plane, scale. I just want to see what happens. Add crowd. No. Why are you all like weirdly all over everywhere? That's just strange. It should be, there's no goal. Alt R? No. Why are you all rotated out? They looked, let's see. Remove it again. I wanted to mocking people. I swear this worked. But I know I don't need that then. Okay. X delete. Yes. X delete. Yes. Let's just see if it's just we can go with a random audience. Does that work? Yeah, that works. So they're right there. So that worked. But somehow the random personal space, I'm just going to increase that up. Less. Width is going to be smaller. And depth thick is going to be bigger. And probability is going to be 0.2. No, more than that. 0.1? That's kind of cool. I still wish I was there walking, but I think that'll work for what we want here. Actually, let's do the other way around though. Let's say width is going to be like 3, or thickness is going to be 3, and width is going to be, let's go probably 1 so I can see where they're at again. Yes, okay. Yeah, that's how we want to do that, because then we can take them RZ and rotate them this way. G, bring them here, and our thickness is going to be 2.5. Yes, our width is going to be 70. Yeah, that works. R, and width is going to be like 2.2. And our probability is going to be 0.1, 0.3, 0.3, 0. Too many people, 0.1. That works. Seed. Okay. All right. And scale's good, thickness is good, personal space is good. Floor is good because they're just sitting on the sidewalk, I think. Make sure they're on my sidewalk. They look like they are. Yeah. GX, bring them out a little bit. 0. Okay, so we got a couple people now. We'll probably add a few more. 112. Alrighty. What else do we want to add to punk this up a bit? Well, we need a background for sure. So we got a number of options. We could throw just a cool building back here. Like that certainly works. Maybe let's do that. What are our heights on it going to be? It's about that. Okay. I wonder. I'm just curious. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, Shift A, mesh, cube. Let's see what happens if we give it the geometry modifier that we turned off for the other one. Procedural alley. Oh yeah, it just creates us a brand new alley again. And we can make a little bit wider. Let's make it a lot higher. I don't think we need more details, but we're going to add sign max floor up to 10. And we'll leave the streetlights on this one, I think. G, and bring it down. 0. Cool. So literally we just have a T intersection building. Bring it back just a little bit. Save. And may take it a minute, but let's see where we're at. Now, I don't feel like I've done nearly enough modeling on this to call it a concept piece because like it's not really mine. That building was just about the right height. But for an illustration, I think we could be getting somewhere with this. Um, I want to try doing walking again for people because that would really help to have some people that were different in this crowd. Casual humans, yes. Add random walk. Add crowd. Why am I doing it? Why am I getting particle systems? Settings in the particle tab. Am I just gonna have to like tweak this? That would be bullshit. But I mean, I can just adjust the voids, but that's dumb. You people should have done a better job in this. Why? Um, source. I don't want rotation. What's my emitter? Just a straight thing? Yeah, have to plane. Physics, voids, yes. Emission. Come on, where was it? Lifetime is, yep. Movement, sure. Allow land, yes. Where's my initial rotation? Collection, yes. No children, right? Yeah. So why are you rotating weirdly? Just so bullshit. I am annoyed. Yes. No. You shouldn't be all random like this, guys. There we go. Okay. Weird. All right. That's better. I don't know why it was starting them off like strange. Okay. 7. Let's see. Scale it. SY. I should. I'm guessing once I do this and size it, it'll be all right. 1.0. GZ. Bring it down. SX. Shrink it in. Control A. Rotation and scale. Yes. Okay. Cool. Um, okay. I want to set. That should not be there. What happened? What is that? This is what happens when you go to try to fuck your object floor. When you try to use a plugin you've never really used before. People count 50. Speed 1. Personal space 1. Okay. No. Why are you guys? Why are they down low now? Bizarreness. But okay. Can I live with that? Yeah. On this one. Your voids are weird. You're annoying me. Hello, land. Max land speed 1. Jump speed, yeah. Land's cool. Collision collection. I don't know what that floor is. Can I see it in here? We're going to give this another 2 minutes and we'll be like, screw this. I don't want to see your thing. It created a weird floor. I don't want it to be there. Mhm. Oh, you annoy me. Great. Let's see. There should be a way to hide emitter. Yeah. Or just delete it. Delete that. And everybody's way up high again. I don't know what you're doing. It's a new plugin. I have hopes for it. It was like $9. So these things happen. Actually, undo history. Frame change. Just go back to here. You let me have it back. Give it back to me. It's my void emitter. Rewind. Play. Okay, fine. We're just going to go with that. It's not great, but I think maybe particularly if we count to like 35, cut it back, play. Okay, sure. Sounds good. We'll probably want to put a foreground thing in to draw attention anyway. That's normally how you deal with things like that. Anyway, I was saying before I got weirded up with this um, emission object, this is not really concept art because it's not really adding anything of value. And I'll take this material, new, and I'm going to give it an alpha of 0. And now that should be okay. Let's see. This is my way of just dealing with it. We're just going to hide it. Yeah, you can't call something like this concept art unless it offers something that somebody needed. So from a film or TV perspective, this is a little too big probably to be a set, and it's kind of generic. Like you're not really adding a lot of value yet. Whoa, water. Where did my road go? It's still there, right? Yeah. Okay, it's good. It's just everything got weird. I don't know why it keeps bringing everybody back up to there, but let's bring them down to here and then play. Yep. And then these folks, bring them back down again. I think we're good. But there is a need for illustration also in TV. So an example of an illustration in TV might be if you were trying to get a site approved, a location approved, you might need to make a pretty picture of it so that some producer would be like, oh yeah, you could use this for that. But I wouldn't call it concept art. It's literally just an illustration. Um, and like the amount of things I've done to this is some set dressing, but it's not really that significant. Um, Not that there's anything wrong with illustrations, because there's not. That's fine. I'm gonna add a car. I think I'm gonna add a tuk-tuk. And I think I have one. I can just grab, I know I do. There's this pretty sweet apocalyptic vehicles um, file this guy made over on Blender Market, and it was cheap. It was like $5 for it. I told him he needed to charge more for it because there was just an insane amount of. Is it in here? Where did I put it? There's like apocalypse vehicles. Yeah, it was like $5 for all these really well modeled cars. And I was like, come on, dude. Know your own value. And I like tuk-tuks. And they're very appropriate to Southeast Asia, obviously. Um, thanks, Philip. I'm glad it's looking good. Um, yeah, and with roughly 5 minutes left, is it still thinking? Load. My computer is slow. It might be about time for a reboot. It has been a couple of days since I've turned it off. There we go. All right, tuk-tuk. Very grungy, very cyberpunky looking. Copy objects. And let's paste that sucker. 7, where to go? There. And we're going to bring it right up here to our puddle. 1. We're going to say RZ. And they kind of pull up to the curb like this diagonally. And it looks like it's not quite on my road, but is it good enough that I can see it? No, my road is actually very angled as we designed it to be. So local and RX, tilt it up a bit, GC. And this is one of those cases where sometimes it's easier to just GC, grab the road, T, and now we're just going to move the road. We could turn back on. Waste a lot of time trying to fix our car, but it doesn't. We don't really care too much where the road is, and we just want the car to feel like it works. So there. And I want to turn off our water. Oh, that's our floor thing. I'm just going to hide that so I don't have to see it. There we go. That's looking good. I like our tuk-tuk. And might be time for HDR. I think I can do some more work on this one. I mean, obviously I know I can after our 90 minutes, but I want to show you guys something at the end of the stream. So night, and we're going to use Shanghai Bund. This is like everyone uses this for Cyberpunk HDR. It's from HDR or Polyhaven now they call it. That's added, and I'm going to make it 1. It'll probably be dark. Let's see what we got. And we're thinking. Excuse me. Light disease, light. I mean, this is going to be a pretty heavy scene too. The blender object isn't, or the. Oh yeah, that's getting there. Cool. So things we see, our pipes have no material. We need to fix that. So let's just convert it to mesh. And this one too. And this one too. And then let's use grunge metal. Let's come back out. The people looking kind of cool though. Like they're working for me at this level. And you're thinking, okay, we'll go grab grunge metal. Blender Guppy stuff is so good. I just can't recommend it enough. I just really, really can't. It's so good. I'm just gonna merge all this together. J, and I'm gonna merge. Come on. Where are my flanges? Give to me the flanges. Flanges. Control J. Merge it all together. And we're going to add grunge metal to that. We're going to save it, and we're going to go rip the lights out of grunge metal again, as we do every time. shading. And then we'll see what it looks like. And then I'll finish it and post it up on Instagram and Mastodon. It won't take long, probably less than an hour this morning. Okay, there goes the lights for grunge metal. And it's still thinking. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it's going to be slow right now. Geometry nodes render slow to begin with, so we got this whole building in the back. It's doing procedurally, and oh yeah, that's better. Cool. So I think we need a couple of accent lights here in the foreground, sort of telling us maybe some fog, but that's just simple VDB stuff. Like there's nothing really interesting to show you about that. Just I think we need some, and yeah, then you just need to post this sucker up. Um, so I think we'll call that. I hope you found it at least moderately interesting. Like I said, if it were something I was doing for me for realsies, I would want to do a little bit more changing of this. But given the time frame, this shows you how you can get something quick, and it works just fine for an illustration. If you've got a client that needs a picture, this is the kind of thing you do. You don't have to make something entirely unique every time. But I think I'd want it to be a little bit more for me personally. I feel like we kind of just put some elements together right now. And although I do like the road, I don't know. Maybe I'm being hard on myself. Regardless, thank you folks for hanging out with me. I hope it was interesting. I hope you had a good time. I said I'll post up the final in the next couple minutes. Oh, I'll answer Philip. Philip, the buildings are from the procedural alleys add-on from Blender Market. I've tweaked them a little bit, and I would tweak them more, but I didn't make them. The Nothing's projection modeled. It's all geometry. The wall on the right side is just plain with some stuff cut out with random flow. And then I added some greebly things in the foreground. I mean, you can watch if you want to see. But yeah, I did not create those buildings from scratch, and that would take way longer than I would have time for in most cases. If I had to do something for work, they would rarely make me build a city street like this. It would just take from scratch. It would just take too long. So, okay. Anyway, thanks everybody. I will be back. Oh, I should say, I have an event I'm going to tomorrow. I won tickets to a graphic design conference in downtown Vancouver. So tomorrow and Wednesday, I'm going to be downtown and not able to do a stream, but I will be back on Thursday for another stream. Okay, cool. Take care, everybody, and thanks again. Bye bye.